Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Eric McLeod here for LowBlowRadio podcast. This is Eric After Dark. I'm going to give you a quick little AEW Dark review, but before I get to that, I'd like to talk about the AEW Women's Eliminator tournament that we had going on over the last couple of weeks. We're leading into the finals on Dynamite this week, so I'd like to cover the rest of the matchups and stuff that went on leading into those finals. So on Sunday on Bleacher Report, also airing on YouTube, we had Hikaru Shida and Rin Katakura teaming with Mia Segura defeating Emi Sakura, Maki Ito, and Veni. Great six-woman tag match. Really let all these Joshis get in the ring and get some fun moments in there. If you hadn't seen them participating in the early rounds of the tournament, it was fun to see the Joshis back here. Some of the losers here working in a fun matchup. And in the finals on the Japanese side of the bracket, Ryu Mitsunami defeated Yuka Sakazawa by pinfall. Really good back and forth. Yuka definitely seemed like she could have snuck away with a victory here. She'd sort of been, working her way through this tournament, but they're really seems like they're building Ryu Mitsunami as a new big star to have in AEW, and she's dominant and really entertaining to watch. So I'm excited to see what she does over on U.S. soil. So we also had on this show on the U.S. side of the brackets, Thunder Rosa taking on Riho, and she was able to defeat her to head into the semifinals, which we got the next night. Great matchup from those two. I'd say probably one of my favorites from the whole tournament, other than the Rio Serena Deeb match was really, really good as well. So I definitely want to give it up to that as being one to seek out and look up if you were curious about some of these matchups. So then on Monday, we had just a short kind of dark episode, not really a full one or anything like that, but it featured Maddie Renenkowski taking on Leva Bates. She picked up a big victory there. She was the replacement for Anna Jay in the tournament. Nice to see her picking up a victory, especially over a name like Leva Bates. And Layla Hirsch, also, who was competing in the tournament but lost in the first round to Thunder Rosa, got a big win against Miranda Aliza. And then headlined on this was Nyla Rose and Thunder Rosa for the semifinals. Nyla coming out with the victory. Something I'd predicted on the podcast last week, that maybe they were going to go with the two more, the bigger the girls there to go against each other. So it was sort of like a clash of giants type thing for Dynamite leading into the number one contender position for the pay-per-view Revolution on the weekend. So I think with Nyla going over, I really hope Mitsunami gets the victory, but we'll have to wait and see. I think Chris and I will give you an AEW Dynamite review later on, but that about wraps things up for the women's tournament. Let's head on over to AEW Dark. I will run through a few of the matches we had. Not a stacked card, but a fun card nonetheless. Definitely a lot of featured guys leading into the Crossroads Dynamite as well as Revolution coming up on Saturday. We opened up with Aaron Solo and Lee Johnson picking up their first victory as a tag team against Lewis Valley and Chris Perks. Red Velvet also picking up a really big victory as she teamed with Kylan King to defeat Ivelisse and Diamante. This was huge. These are definitely a shift. Ivelisse and Diamante are usually the girls going over, especially in the tag matches, but Red Velvet, as they had said, she is the number one ranked woman in the women's division. So getting a big victory here was huge for her leading into the match against Jade and Shaq. We had the Top Flight defeating Fuego del Sol and John Cruz. Definitely probably one of my favorites because I'm just such a Fuego del Sol fan. But Top Flight really entertaining. I think getting those reps in is going to be more and more crucial here as they are adding more shows to AEW with the Monday show coming eminently as well. We had a trios match as Austin, Billy, and Colton Gunn. The Gunn Club defeated Aaron Fry, Angelo Fashion, and Tony Vega. Always fun to see the Gun Club in action, so really enjoyed that. Abaddon defeated Renee Michelle. Good to see her returning, keeping that spooky gimmick live and well. Really enjoying her finisher as well. Stu Grayson in a singles match defeating JD Drake. Really hard hitting. We saw JD debut last week against Eddie Kingston in a really hard-hitting matchup, and this time him and Stu just really went at it. Nice to see Stu in a singles matchup, and definitely an underrated competitor they have in AEW, picking up a huge victory here. Bear Country also picking up another victory as they took on Baron Black and Mbadu. They're going to be featured in the Casino Battle Royal, so I think that's really a big step up for them here in AEW, definitely getting a lot of eyes on them. Had the Dark Order members, Alan Five Angels, teaming with Evil Uno and Colt Cabana. An odd teaming, but I guess because Stu had his solo match, that's why Evil was able to be in this one. They picked up the victory over Levi Shapiro, John Schuyler, and Ryzen. Really, really good match too. -1 was there, so that's always more entertaining to watch. Really let Alan Five Angels get a bunch of fun spots in here, though, so that was really fun. Max Caster having a match, and he defeated JJ Grant. The acclaimed rap video, once again, just out of the park. These guys are just one of the best signings I could say that AEW have found lately, and Max Caster now getting a bit of a singles push as well. I'm all for it, so I really hope he is able to pick up his victory on Dynamite this week and head into the ladder match. We had TH2 on the show defeating Charlie Bravo and Sean Dean, who have been a really cool kind of tag team. It's a nice place for Sean Dean to have found a tag team partner that kind of works with him as well. But yeah, not being able to do much here against the TH2 as they picked up the victory. My favorite match definitely on this card, Orange Cassidy returning to action as he took on Steven Stenton. If you can guess, Steven Stenton would be kind of a cowboy type gimmick. Cassidy leading into that fully, doing some, finger guns, wearing his cowboy hat, all kinds of fun stuff from Orange Cassidy as he picked up the victory here, heading into the big match against Miro. Also featured in that Miro match at Revolution will be Chuck Taylor, who got a victory against VSK here. Cool to see him in singles action now that Trent will be out of action for the next few months. So yeah, keep Chuck in action and keep him moving. I'm all for that. And then we had Preston 10 Vance defeating Daniel Joseph. Great match, but always a bit distracting when you hear -1 on the commentary, but it's really, really fun. That kid is hilarious, and you can tell he just loves wrestling and really loves Preston Vance as well. So enjoying Vance getting the victory, and fun to see that one here. So curious to see who wins between him and Max Caster on Dynamite. Headlined, though, was Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels taking on Matt Sydal and Mike Sydal, which was a really, really fun headlining main event match to this dark. Frankie Kazarian and Daniels still being able to pick up the victory. I like that they're edging closer and closer to tougher and tougher competition every week on Dark, with this stipulation of potentially breaking up. This was certainly a big step up in competition, and had to, kind of really pull out all the guns here to get the victory over Matt and Mike Sydal, but they were able to get the best Meltzer ever finish, and get the victory once again for Kazarian and Daniels, the SCU. So that about wraps things up for the AEW Dark review. But if you're curious to hear more Low Blow Radio, you can check out our radio show every Wednesday at 7 p.m. on 88.7theriver.ca. Or if you're in Canada or in Ontario, you can hear it on the radio itself, 88.7 The River. If you're here on YouTube, thank you for watching. You can like this video. You can share it with your friends. You can subscribe. Lets you know when new videos come out, especially if you ring the little bell. It'll notify you when new things are coming up all the time here. And yeah, that about wraps things up for AEW Dark, but we'll be back with more fun here on Low Blow Radio Podcast.
Now we're